Okay, so I just finished priming all my parts using Mr. Finishing Surfacer 1500 Gray. And as always, I always did like how it comes out. It goes down nice and smooth. And now I'm going to paint the purple parts using purple primary color gloss, number 67. This is a color that I have been enjoying seeing other model kits, other model builds this year. Some kits have a way of putting on the purple and then putting a light shade of purple, like a violet. I want to try something like that in the future, but for now we're going to work on this and see how it comes out. I have the samples here. I got my airbrush ready. Let's try something small here with this. Mix, a test spray, I can't seem to find my cap yet. I found the cap for one of my other airbrushes, but not this. Come on. Some nice purple. Here are the trim parts here. Okay, that's done. This is the foot. The foot was purple, right? Yeah, it was. I'm not going to oversaturate it, so I'm going to get layers, of course. We already did that. This one, this. Good. The back thruster parts here from the trim. You know what? Now I just realized something as I'm doing this. Let me remove this guy. That's nice. And I'll get another part for that one, but let me just do this one here. Good. Now, pull this guy, because this is the one where I primed both parts since I already assembled it. And the priming covered up the scar mark so you don't see it. But we're going to work on this, so I'm going to do the inside here first. Then once it dries, I will, of course, mask it off. Obviously a little purple on the parts, no big deal, because it will be re-painted the color that I want after I finish masking it off. Bend it down a bit, so I can grab the other side. I think that came out good. Nice. And then this is going to take a lot of time for me to paint all this, so let me just do this. Continue on with the remaining parts. So this will be the easy part to do, painting all this purple. But then soon, once everything is dried and I begin masking that part off, I'm going to begin with the painting everything yellow. So stay tuned. Okay. Now that I finished with the purple and letting it dry, it's time to move on to the next color. And this is the layers that we're going to put on this kit. I'm going to begin with yellow. This is actually yellow FS 13538, US Navy Blue Angels yellow. It's gloss, number 329. In the past, I've always had mixed results with yellow because it always has a tendency of not going down properly, even if you thin it down or not thin it down or whatever happens. I don't know. I've always had some negative feedback on it. I want to try. This is the first time I'm putting a massive amount of yellow on the kit, which eventually will be covered up. So here it is. We're going to try it and see how it works. We're going to do some light passes. This actually reminds me of the time when I made that that Mecha Collide ship from Space Battleship Yamato 2199. The one, what do you call it, the Yukuzi, or Yukiza, I think it's pronounced. And what I did was I primed the parts black, and when I applied yellow over black, wow, that was a pain in the ass to paint that. I had to paint it layer after layer just so I can get the yellow right through. But it was my intent. My thought was the yellow will show through as the free shades, but no, that was not the case. Learned a better lesson there. Alright, so right now the back skirt armor looks good. I have very little paint here, but I have enough. Let's see if I have enough for this. This is pretty much one light shade, but I'm going to do an extra shade later on just so it could stick. Actually, the other green, darker green part here, which goes on that arm, but I'm going to spray paint it yellow anyway because it's going to be covered up with the masking tape that I've custom made. let's try this guy. It's going to be light passes. Alright, so that's good. Alright, this thing's huge, but let's see how it works. Now, I'm thinking maybe a gray primer is not a good choice for applying yellow over. If it was white primer, and then you apply the yellow over it, then you have a little bit more of the brightness coming out from the yellow. I'll have to experiment with that one day when I use yellow again. I've been meaning to use yellow for a long time on just a specific kit. I mean, use it as a primary color. The last time I've used yellow was when I was when I made the what was it? That no grade 1/100 scale Zaku Warrior Luna Marie Hawk version, which I pretty much made it the Best Buy mobile suit, you could say, with blue and yellow. I really enjoyed that paint job. That was pretty nice. Alright, so this should be fine for now. I'm not going to continue on, just I'll let it dry. I have a lot of parts to work on right now, and then I'll do 2 layers just to make sure it goes through, wait until it dries, and then we'll move on to the next color that will go right over that. So let me continue working on these.